Alrighty. So there is a lot of meme videos that I've put out recently. And I was waiting for a topic that I was going to probably repeat, but I said, what the hell? I'll go ahead and talk about it. So I've been waiting for, something else to talk about. But of course, the Israel-Palestine stuff, more people put out bullcrap statements, so I have to put out more realistic commentary about their bullcrap. So there have been attacks, as you saw from the funny meme video that I posted, called Warriors, about apparently this is what occurred in Los Angeles, where a group of Palestinian men, presumably, were looking for Jews out in the street. And they said, hey, are you, any one of y'all Jews? One guy comes up, and as y'all see in that video, he comes swinging with a sand for the separate, the separation, for like, to keep people, to keep people in line, basically. I can't think of the word. I'm just too much of a boomer. Anyway, he was, swinging that at him. He takes on like 5 dudes at once, thinking this guy's like, this dude's trying to act like he's Bruce Lee or something. And he gets knocked down, and the Palestinian dudes, smack him up, this and that. That is one amongst many. And what I would say to this is funny. I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you. Funny, but also a lot of folks are giving their galaxy brain takes. Particularly, like Maoists and other folks who make excuses. And when I hear this type of shit from so-called atheists and anti-theists about actually, Nature Carta are actually good folks. Just because they're Orthodox Jews doesn't mean they're bad. It's just like, yeah, but the thing is, though, you could try to make the difference between various groups. Like, yeah, just because they're Orthodox Jews does not mean they completely support you, It's like, yeah, you also had the other side of the ultra-Orthodox coin, and you had people like Meir Kahane. But nobody talks about him. Nobody talks about him because they know better, because they know how bad it would look. It'd be bad optics. The thing is this, anti-Semitism is something that does distract from the class struggle, if you will, and distracts from, taking down capitalists. I'm going to stop right there in that portion. I could expand on that, but let's just go ahead and leave it there. What I would say, though, is why is there this exception for Judaism as a religion? Why is that? It doesn't make any sense to me. When I hear, like I say, I always hear the words of Lenin ringing in my head about when he was part of the Russian Social Democratic Party, where he says, we are disciples of, and maybe I'm getting this, take this as a paraphrasing, not an exact wording, but basically, we are in the Feuerbach line, or the Feuerbach line. We are dialectical materialists. We are positively against religion. Full stop. I hate to use that term that, I don't think people are using that phrase as much, but full stop. We are positively against religion. Why is it then that you support and you say, oh, well, the working class Jews are our friends. It's only the bourgeoisie Jews that are, that are against us. Yeah, but the thing is, though, they have privilege, and don't they benefit from the system too? Like I say, I'm not gonna, this isn't backdoor anti-Semitism, but I'm just saying is, why is it that there are exceptions for that? And I know, people like Lenin said his work about anti-Semitism, and you had people like, Stalin wrote his words about anti-Semitism. Of course, the thing is that was written in like the 1920s and whatnot. The thing is that, remind me what happened to the Jewish Anti-Fascist League after the Second World War. Yeah. Because, yeah, I mean, Ilya Ehrenberg was pretty much the only one that survived. Pretty much everybody else was executed. Pretty much everyone else just ended up dead. Because the thing is that the writers and the ones that were really compiling this information and creating and they were writing a book about the Great Patriotic War. I believe Vasily Grossman was kind of involved with that as well, to a different degree. He was more of a straight-up journalist. And they said basically, they talked a lot about the Jewish casualties in the Second World War in the Soviet Union. They did not talk about the Russian losses, which were immense as well. So a lot of folks were like, hey, what's going on here? And Stalin as well, like, hey, why are you oversimplifying it to just those losses? So the thing is, man, this is once again another reason why these issues will always come up. Why is it that people make excuses for this one particular religion? The thing is, I'm going to say this, and like I said, people are going to be disappointed, and maybe they won't be. I don't know. But the thing is, though, is when you see atheist or anti-theist in someone's name, or they identify as that, it just means anti-Christian. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say that. And even being me, someone who hasn't been to a church in many, many years, I still do have a belief in God. Maybe it's unfortunate that I'm a little bit too agnostic. But anywho, that's my issue. Anywho, why is it though that when you see Richard Dawkins, of course, make excuses and we'll say basically, yeah, Christianity ban, but when it comes to Buddhism, they're suddenly like, yeah, we like Buddhism. Or you'll see Christopher Hitchens, of course, make his funny little jokes about, oh, well, yeah, why don't we just drop porno? Why don't we just drop porn on the religious extremist of Islam? Ignoring, of course, the fact that, Israel broadcasted porn on children's television in Ramallah. No one talks about that. Why is it that, like I say, they will always talk about generalities, and this is the way that people attack the ideas of right-wingers or attack the ideas of E. Michael Jones, this and that, and the information. I was going to say facts, but let's just say information of people like Dr. E. Michael Jones and those types. Why is it that you don't want to specifically do those, and you instead go for the easier targets? To me, if you just dislike Christianity, just say you're anti-Christian. Why do all this sort of backwards type of stuff where you just don't like religion and then you'll make excuses for people of other religions? I just don't get it. And that's not me saying, oh, well, I hate Islam, this and that. No, Islam is what it is, I think. Or Christianity is what it is. Or Buddhism is what it is. Or Hinduism is what it is. Yeah. The thing is, though, is why do these folks want to make, like I said, and once again, you can read, I have read that pamphlet by Lenin. I read it back when I showed my face, so I may look at it again. But the thing is, though, is basically what Lenin said in this pamphlet. I'll simplify it for you. Yeah, we are dialectical materialists. We're positively against religion. He says, yeah, the clergy can join the party. Yeah, clergy can join the party, but they have to renounce their religion. He later says that we don't want to be extremists, though, like Bismarck, against Catholicism. Because obviously Bismarck was a Protestant, this and that, and was, dabbing on the Catholics. So they don't want to do that. Okay, what's the next thing? Basically, what is Lenin's story? Back in 1904, I want to say that this was written. What did he say? Basically, he said, we just need to come up with better atheistic propaganda. Go to work at that. That's basically what that said. That's why no one really talks about it, because it's like, well, and to me, it's much more succinct. Is that, it's not the whole idea. I know people say it about Marx, is that he said religion is the opiate of the masses. I know. And then he said all this other stuff. Yeah, the thing is, though, is that Lenin pretty much said right out, we are positively against religion. You can't really jump hoops or try to create some mental gymnastics around that. He said we are positively against religion. That's what he said. He said, it's basically you need to join us and become atheists. We don't want to be extremists, at least at first, and get rid of, religion all in one go. But we're going to take our time, and eventually, when we produce enough good, atheistic propaganda, then we'll have won. So when I see this type of stuff, talking about, Israel, Palestine, this and that, and, all the anti-Semitic attacks and everything. And then, of course, there are a percentage of those that you find out are fake, that they didn't really happen, or sometimes it was an Israeli that called up. An Israeli called up these synagogues and said that these bomb threats were there. So, I mean, this is why you have the "what you doing, Rabbi" meme, because it's like, yeah, there are incidents that, yeah. And in general, people don't speak on that. They're just like, well, that's something within their community that they need to handle, et cetera, right? So, I don't know, people are going to say this is highly sus the way I'm doing it. I will say this without any memes, without any sarcasm or anything else. I don't endorse anti-Semitism, but things happen, and people have their own beliefs. I myself don't believe these things. No. And I'm not trying to be an instigator. At least I try not to think that way. I think most of my audience, or most of the people that hear this, know you shouldn't be doing stuff like that for whatever rationale you want to use, whether it's morals or whether it's whichever, right? What I would say to that, though, is just don't do anything crazy. Anywho, I hope y'all enjoyed that long video, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. See you later, and goodbye.